Alright guys, back here again. I accidentally managed to stop the video recording. Didn't mean to do that, so we're going to split this over two videos obviously. So you're coming back to this here when you got the tan of an angle times the cotan of an angle. Okay, well that is equal to 1 because these are inverses of one another. So you could verify that for yourself. I know, grab a calculator and well, it's pretty much not even sure if you need a calculator for that, because this is tan of 30 degrees times 1 over the tan of 30 degrees. Well, that must equal 1. Now, that's a clue as to how you might approach this question here. Okay, so that should be 89 there, not 99, by the way. Okay, so perhaps one more clue on this. Well, if you take the tan of 89, that can be considered the tan of 90 degrees minus 1. Okay, and that is the sine of 90 degrees minus 1 over the cosine of 90 degrees minus 1. Now, perhaps if you then consider what this is equal to using the identities for sine of a minus b and the cosine of a minus b, see what that is equal to, okay, and have a look at it in terms of cotan. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit of a clue. So yeah, so okay, coming back to this one last clue on that. If you were to look at the tan of 1 and the tan of 89 as a pair, and then also these other ones like tan of 2 and the tan of 88 as a pair, okay, consider what they would be if you, if you consider them as a pair, and the tan of 2 times the tan of 88, okay, where you can try and write this as the cotan of something. Okay, all right, so I'm going to leave you with that as a clue. All right, so I suggest now you pause the video at this stage, have a go at trying to do this question here, okay, and then come back once you've had a go at it yourself. All right, so welcome back. Okay, if you haven't yet paused it, please do so, but if you have done that, okay, welcome back now. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at then the tan of 89. So I'm actually going to just take this point here and continue with it. So if you look at the sine of 90 minus 1, or 90 minus 1 degrees, so you get the sine of 90 times the cosine of 1 minus the cosine of 90 times the sine of 1, all of that over, okay, the cosine of 90 degrees times the cosine of 1. I won't keep putting the degree symbol. That should be plus the sine of 90 times the sine of 1. Now, the sine of 90 is 1, the cosine of 90 is 0, so this becomes cosine 1 on top, because this part will be 0. So this part here will also be 0, and this will be sine of 1. Now the cosine of 1 over the sine of 1, well, that's the inverse tan, in other words, cotan of 1. Now if you look at the tan of 1 times the cotan of 1, well, that's just going to equal 1. Now if you look at doing that for the tan of 88, just to do one more, you get the same kind of thing happening. Not sine, sorry, tan. Oh, yes, it will be actually. So the tan of 90 minus 2. Now if you do the same kind of working that we've just done a moment ago for the one above, Now if you do exactly the same kind of working, eventually this comes out to, after a bit of working, to the cotan of 2. So if you group or match up tan of 2 times the tan of 88, what you end up with the tan of 2 times the cotan of 2, which will equal 1. Now if you keep doing that and you consider what happens in the middle, what you end up with in the middle is actually the tan of 45 degrees. So what you end up, as I was saying, in the middle there, these other ones will all pair up to equal 1 when you multiply them together with the same similar fashion to this. So you end up with, in the middle, just a tan of 45 degrees. Okay, all the rests are equal to 1, so you're left with this. And of course the tan of 45 degrees is also equal to 1, so you end up with, that should be an A. Well, that's just going to equal A, X between the limits A and 0, so we end up with A minus 0, or in other words, A. So this integral just comes out to A. Alright guys, hopefully having the videos here to help you or just push things along a little bit further, and please make sure that you are submitting your work still. Obviously, now that you've got the answer, you should be able to just fix up anything that you weren't able to do, but still submit the work. And yeah, we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one.